I was your standard tech investor, moving from the internet to apps and things like that, and just found that most of the problems the apps were solving weren't that interesting. And I knew something about healthcare and started focusing on that more and more. But then I realized that healthcare is kind of like car repair. It's fixing damage. Why not figure out how to avoid the damage? And to me, that is health. Health is an asset. So what I'm doing now is trying to help health become a real asset class, like mortgages or bridges. It's long-term assets. And right now, most people are renting their health when they should be investing in it. People invest in healthcare, and there's lots and lots of for-profit things to do, and then there are things like hospitals, the John B. Frankenstein Memorial Wing or something. But why can't you invest in the John B. Frankenstein Diabetes Prevention Project rather than the Diabetes Care Project? So just like mortgages 100 years ago, it was hard to find a portfolio of such investments. We're trying to do the same thing with things like diabetes prevention or prenatal care or substance abuse, and look at where you can get the payers to pay for investment rather than simply to pay for the costs as they go along. So Hiccup is a not-for-profit, and its business is to figure out how the overhead and the structuring works so that then investors can come in and get deal flow of actual health investments instead of just care. Institutional investors are waiting for someone to show up with a whole bunch of assets for them to invest in. What is interested in it now is more the philanthropic people or the double bottom line people or the so-called social impact investors. And they're saying, well, this sounds really nice, but where's the deal flow? Where's the experience? I don't really want to be the first one. So you get things where there's probably a philanthropic part of the capital stack, and then there's a real investor part, and there's guarantees. And so it's all pretty complicated. I like to say that investing is like having sex, and being an angel investor is like raising children, but social impact finance is like in vitro fertilization. Naturally, this is really challenging. On the one hand, we're trying to find willing payers, get Medicaid waivers or insurance companies that are at risk or employers to agree to work with us to pay for the production of health as this asset. And on the other hand, you have people in the community who aren't really used to being accountable. A lot of people who do good are focused on what they put in, not what they take out. Imagine a company that simply talked to you about its expenses, but not about its revenues. So changing mindsets, finding all the counterparties, and then of course, in a sense, the money's there. People want to invest in sustainable bodies, but they can't find the deals, and we're trying to help create that market.